Hostile territory.
Hi everyone and welcome to Hostile Territory. This is the first video in a series of videos that will hopefully help you get through tough times if you're working in a toxic and hostile workplace. All of what you'll see and hear in these videos comes from my personal experience. So please don't take it as any kind of professional help. I'm just a simple blue-collar worker who wants to share some vast experience on this topic that will hopefully help you get through those bad times. Also, I'm not obviously a native American speaker, so pardon the bad English. I hope I'll be able to relay the message to you. In this video, we'll be talking about how to make a good judgment about whether your workplace is toxic or not. Now, I thought a lot about what would be the first topic of the first video on this channel, and I decided that it would be good to lay some sort of foundation for all of the future videos and the advice that I would share with you. The most important thing when being in any kind of workplace is to always be conscious and aware of what kind of workplace you are in. According to that, you can expect some things, plan some things, and everything else. This is immensely important. I will give you an example from, again, personal experience. I used to work 13 years in two companies in a highly risky and stressful job. Okay, risks and stress was on a daily basis. You know, a simple typo could cost you and the company a lots of money. There's a lot of stress. There's a timetable always. Everything is done in a hurry, and it's all a big mess all the time. Okay, and problems are on a daily and hourly basis. Within those kinds of companies, you can't expect people to be, very kind all the time, have patience and everything else. Everybody has to have some kind of relief valve. I've seen lots of times, not in my company, but in other companies where people were tightly knit together and really got along, with each other. They yelled at each other. They said bad things to each other. It almost got in certain times to a fist fight, and when that passes after a couple of hours, everything was okay and it's back to normal, and they go to have a drink after work, after that, and that's it. And I always asked myself, how is that possible, after all the things they've said and done to each other and all, until I saw that it was sort of a relief valve for all the tension and the stress. So that was an example where I saw that it was very important to make a good judgment between a toxic workplace and the line of work you are in. So if you're working in a line of work that has a high stress and risk level, take this into consideration. Lots of times what you consider as toxic or bad behavior, in fact, may be not. At least give it a benefit of the doubt, and at least, don't react hastily. If you do, it may cost you a good job with good benefits, a good paycheck, or even worse, you may even lose a good opportunity for a promotion for some other line of work and else. But if you're in a company where there isn't this kind of risk or stress and people are treating you like trash, then there's no doubt about it. That was the main point of this video. So always be, I don't know if I'm gonna say this again properly in English, observe things around you and see what people are like and see how they react. If there's no reason for yelling or no reason for them treating you badly, then you're definitely working in a toxic workplace. Now, in the next part of this video, I would like to talk about the symptoms that I saw through my working career that are certainly a sign of a toxic workplace. These signs should help you recognize that toxic workplace in a matter of days, so you won't have to go through months of torture thinking about whether it is or it isn't or so on. I hope they help. The first one on the list is, how do people act inside the company? Again, this demands of you to be observant. Take some time and, just leave your work and just get out of the whole commotion, okay? And take a look around. How do people work? What do they do? What kind of pattern of behavior do they have? Do people skip a lot of work? Do they slack at work? Do they take often breaks? If you see all of that, that is a sure sign you'll have some kind of problem. If, people are slacking at work, not working their job properly, if they're taking evasive maneuvers, all of that work can end up in your lap. especially if you like to work. Next, observe how do people react to you. Take some time and see, and especially do this if there again isn't a high level of risk or stress in the workplace. You ask for something, if you ask for a favor, maybe if you ask for some information, everything else, if people don't like to see you, if people make the face when they see you, if they don't want to socialize with you in any way, that's a pretty sure bad sign of a toxic workplace. It can be for this or that reason. Again, give it a bit of time and the benefit of a doubt. This is a tricky symptom, but I think you'll be able to recognize it. Next, watch, if you have the opportunity, what is the management like? If you see that the management is treating their people like trash, if they yell at people, if they fire people all the time, then you're gonna have a bad time there for sure, okay? There's a very low percentage of probability that you'll have a good time in that company. The next thing I would like to talk about is sharing of knowledge. And this goes double if you're new in the company. Now, if you need some kind of help or some kind of advice, and you need that help and advice which will, it benefits the company, it perhaps benefits your colleagues also. If you go and search for that kind of help and you do not get it, that is a very bad sign. And that is a sure sign you should get out of there as soon as possible. Or make some kind of tactic to get that help in other ways. This is very important. If you have to stay there like I did, you're gonna have to make certain kinds of backups and everything else to be able to help yourself. Next tip, and this is very obvious, irregular paychecks and benefits. For every job you get and at every job you work, you have an agreement made with the company and certain conditions. If you see that the paychecks are late all the time and the benefits are late all the time, you should get out of there as soon as possible. Now, lots of companies tend to be late. For instance, if you made a agreement for the 15th of the month and they pay on the 25th, unless the paycheck is like astronomical, leave it. It's only a matter of time before the paycheck will not be there at all. And for the last symptom on this list, and that is something that I've noticed, you don't have to use it, but it's just something that you should look on the side. And that is, what is the hygiene like inside the company? I've noticed that, if the bathrooms, hallways, offices are dirty, cluttered, if nobody takes care of them, that's a pretty big sign that there's something wrong with either the management inside the company, perhaps there's no money for it, the people don't care, because lots of times, even if there isn't money, people will take a broom and clean the mess. That's also a sign that there's something going on or some sort of decay within the company. So that's it for this time. I hope I didn't bore you too much. Again, the point of all these videos is to help you as much as possible. Please like and subscribe. It's a huge help for what we're doing. And I urge you to watch all of our other videos that should help you get through a toxic and hostile workplace. Thank you for watching and thank you for your time.